We have Trevor Matich on the line.
Awesome.
And this is the start of the football season because preseason is now over. And Trevor, good morning to you. Okay, Trevor, let's get right down to brass tacks. Coach Jay Gruden has some tough decisions to make starting today. I mean, there's some guys that have been out there playing their hearts out. They've been trying to make the team. They've showed a lot of promise, but not everybody who has been playing can continue to play. So what happens?
Well, there'll be some guys that'll be on other teams, and there's some tough decisions. But it's really, really good that the Redskins have some tough decisions, especially at places like receiver and running back, because in years past they haven't had tough decisions. It's been easy. And that means that the last guys that make the roster there should be outstanding special teams players and should create extra competition at the position. So at least that's the bright side.
Okay, but let me ask you this. How in the world are they going to make these tough calls? And what are the toughest calls that the coach has to make?
I think running back is probably the toughest call because you've got Alfred Morris and Jarrell Young for sure. Roy Halou Jr., Alfred Morris's backup, is assumed to be safe, but I'm not sure that he should be safe because some of the young guys have done really well. Silas Redd out of USC looks like a faster Alfred Morris. I mean, he's running really well and would be a worthy backup to Morris's style should Morris get injured. But then Lake Seastrom, to me, I think is a guy that's got to find a way to keep on the team. He had an 80-yard screen pass, catch and run, in the preseason game. It was about his only highlight, but the speed was breathtaking. And I think that when you talk about having a third or fourth running back, you don't want another guy that does the same thing that everybody else does as long as you have one good backup. You need someone to change the pace. And one thing the Redskins have not had for many years in the backfield is a back who can take one crease and turn it into 80 yards. They've had guys that could take a crease and turn it into 15 or 20, but not 80. So Seastruck is interesting that way. Chris Thompson is the running back he's competing with. He can do that too, but he hasn't shown that he can stay healthy. So that dynamic looks like it'll be back on the Redskins' backfield.
Well, here's my problem. The Redskins can't ever win. Right? I mean, they're really, in my mind, a losing team. I know that's probably heresy for me to say that. But I want to ask you a question. What do you think about this controversy with the quarterback and Theismann's comments that RG3 perhaps shouldn't, be the star quarterback and Kirk Cousins needs to maybe step in?
And Colt played pretty well.
Right. I mean, Theismann went on to say that he said, all you got to do, he said, stop beating around the bush. I'm reading this from the Washington Post article. And Theismann pretty much trashed RG3. He said, you just look at him move. He's basically clumsy. He's not getting the job done. So, again, it's like, do the Redskins want to win? What do you think?
See, Crystal, you make a great point. Because today's young people, such as yourself, remember the Redskins only as a team that toggles between completely inept and occasionally not embarrassing.
Yes.
And that's all they know. The Super Bowls are in the distant past, hopefully in the near future. But Joe Theismann is right about RG3 right now. He is not a good pocket passer right now. He has the talent, but he has few of the skills and none of the instinct. And this is a very difficult place to learn how to be a pocket passer for the first time. And I don't blame him for it necessarily because he's never done it. I mean, this preseason, you can see him trying to get his coaching onto the field. You could see quarterback technique with footwork and ball handling, etc., when he did not have pressure. But the minute things started to break down and get a little bit chaotic, he reverted not to his new coaching, but to his lifelong instinct. And they were almost always the opposite thing of what they needed to be as a pocket passer. So that's going to take a long time to fix.
Well, then how much depth, how much will they stand by RG3 is the real question.
Right.
I mean, if he gets out there and he starts to struggle, will they yank him? And you know what's going to happen if that is the case.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely an owner question. And you'll know if RG3 struggles and the rest of the offense is playing okay, but RG3 struggles, and the Redskins are losing games early. If he stays in the game, you'll know. So you can have a good indication that it's coming from upstairs because Jay Gruden needs someone that can win right now.
Right.
And the thing about it is, Cousins would give them a better chance to win in the opener next week against Houston than RG3 would. But RG3 has the bigger upside over the next 10 years, assuming that he can learn this new pocket passer thing. So that's their dilemma.
So let's continue to allow RG3 to learn while we're competing. I mean, it makes no sense. It goes back to what I've said. The Redskins don't ever seem like they want to be a winning team again. Would you? I mean, if we know that Cousins is playing better, let's put the egos aside. But it's going to turn into a controversy, don't you think? It'll be a white-black thing.
No, I don't think it'll be that.
I think it'll be.
Redskins fans of every background want to win. I think that's what they want. And they can see, they're smart. They know if RG3 is doing well there or not. Now, he might come out and surprise us. I hope he does.
Well,
but
I mean, I think Crystal has a point here. If you got a quarterback who's just not getting it done, if he's still in transition, if he's not ready to be a pocket passer, as you say, then why not give him some more time to work on it? If the ultimate goal here is to win football games, it seems that we ought to make the hard call here. Why are they continuing to stand by a guy who has demonstrated so far that he's not ready?
Right.
Well, one thing we have to give credit to is that they're evaluating him every single play on the criteria that they're teaching him. So it may well be that Jay Gruden sees that as good as Kirk Cousins has looked, overall over the balance of the preseason, RG3 has been doing things well enough to keep his starting job. So we have to give him credit for that concept. I don't think so if everything else were even. If these guys both came in as free agents that with the same background and the same investment by the team, I think Kirk Cousins will start the first game. But at the same time, again, you've got to look at a lot of factors on this team, and one of them is how would RG3 psyche handle it if he were just flat benched because he lost the competition?
Yeah. Have you gotten any blowback for these comments?
No, because the thing is, all I'm doing is talking about what what I see. And again, what I see is that over the course of 10 years, he gives the better chance. But right now, it's obvious that he is in a learning curve, and at the far end of the learning curve of learning how to be a pocket passer.
Well, Trevor, we're glad to have you back for another season. It's good to have you on the show this morning.
Listen, it's great to be back, you guys. One way or another, this is going to be exciting.
All right, Redskins Report with Trevor Matich, brought to you by Fork Union.